get serious about building content sites and building a profitable business online? Welcome to the Niche Website Builders Podcast. We bring you the latest field-tested tips, tricks, and strategies for building a profitable online asset. We interview industry experts, share customer success stories, and reveal our own experiences working on hundreds of sites to inspire and motivate you to make something happen. Let's do this.
Welcome to the Niche Website Builders Podcast. Today we have something a little different to our usual niche website marketing, and that is looking at more of the social media side. So today we have Sarah Tamsin. We go through her background. We cover some of her general niche website. Obviously, she's in that game, in the affiliate game as well. So we cover some of her websites and some of her processes there. But the real meat and potatoes of this podcast comes down to her success on TikTok. So recently she's gone 30 days to 30,000 followers on TikTok. And we talk about the processes, how you can do that. If you're a blogger, how you can turn your blog posts into TikTok videos to take advantage of that traffic. We also dive into, if that traffic actually converts, if it really helps your website or if it's just a vanity metric. But we don't just stop at TikTok. We also talk about Pinterest as well and how you can leverage Pinterest for your traffic. Obviously, we know recently with the change in algorithm, it's become a little more difficult. So just some tips around there. And we cover general topics around brands and sponsored style posts and leveraging brands for their products and being able to essentially review their products and get some of their products potentially for free and get paid to review them. So there's a lot to unpack in this episode. Hopefully by the end of it, you've been inspired to potentially jump into the social media game to diversify your traffic. Obviously, as niche website builders, we're typically focusing on Google and search engine traffic, but this might open your eyes into potentially looking at other forms of traffic like social media, specifically from TikTok, just because of how aggressive their algorithm is. So enjoy.
This episode is brought to you by Niche Website Builders, an agency dedicated to helping people just like you build profitable content sites. Niche Website Builders are the hands-off content site marketing agency you always wished existed. It's run by content site marketers for content site marketers, and they help both investors and individuals alike build profitable online properties. They provide a fully outsourced approach to content creation, link building, and done-for-you website builds, the same approach they use on their own six-figure portfolios. For example, their content packages come with a proprietary keyword research process, are written by in-house native English speakers, formatted using templates proven to convert, and uploaded to WordPress with affiliate links added so that all you need to do is hit the publish button. Check them out at nichewebsite.builders/show. That's nichewebsite.builders/show and fill out the form to get coupon codes for 10% more content or a 10% discount on links with your first order sent right to your inbox.
Welcome to the Niche Website Builders Podcast. Today we have Sarah Tamsin. Sarah, how are you going?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So just for the listeners, let's dive straight in. Just do a brief background of yourself and maybe some of your experiences within the niche website building space.
Cool, yeah. Hi, my name's Sarah Tamsin and I'm from South Wales in the UK. I've been creating content online in some way, shape or form since literally the late 90s. But I've been...
Okay, so you're like a veteran in the space then.
Well, yeah, I was a child in the late 90s, but that's where I first learned my skills. That's where I first learned HTML and how to publish blog posts and the general overarching things that the internet has to offer. That's where I really learned how it all works, was way back then. But I started creating niche websites, with the intention to earn money through affiliate marketing. I started that around 2015. And about 3 years later, I was earning enough income from that I was able to quit my job and work as a freelancer. And I launched my own web development services. And obviously I carried on with my niche sites in the meantime. So I had the multiple streams of income, and I've now just launched a training company as well. So I've kind of got multiple different hats on in the digital space, but Really enjoying, really loving working online. It's always what I wanted to do. So, yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. Do you want to just do a quick little, before we get into the real meat of this podcast, for listeners, this is going to be more about social media, I guess, marketing and growth. But to start with, those niche sites, how many niche sites are you currently running? And are you able to share maybe just some of the niches that you're in there?
Yeah, sure. So I've actually currently got 7 websites, but 5 of them I would consider like actually, profitable, that make a significant amount of money. The other 2 are just a little bit like hobbies kind of thing. But yeah, the successful sites that I've got, 2 of them are kind of around home fitness equipment. 2 of them are around like travel and music events in different places around the world, and then one of them is about animals and pets. So
Nice.
They're all things that I was interested in. They're all things that I had like a personal interest in, and the reason why I started the websites was because like I was researching these topics myself when I was learning, and I found very little information, and that's when it kind of clicked in my head, like, hang on, there's little information online. That just means somebody's got to put it online, and then it's there. I was like, I can be that person, right? So yeah, that's how it all started.
No, exactly. It was either little information or the information's so bad that you need to replace it yourself.
Yeah.
Did you end up writing all your own content, or did you outsource most of it?
Oh, I'm a self-starter. Every single thing on every single one of my websites I did myself. From choosing the domain, designing the logo, finding the keywords, writing every single blog post, every article, every buying guide, adding every single affiliate link, every single thing I've completely done myself. I've never actually outsourced anything on these websites. But I'll be honest, I had a very slow growth. I mean, my first 6 months to a year, I didn't really, I was making like 20, 30 pounds here and there. It wasn't really significant, but it did take off after a while. It was just a slow starting time. I think if I'd have had some investment and outsourced that initially, then I would have been successful a lot quicker. It was like the learning curve but I'm kind of glad I went through that process, because when I've made now my subsequent websites, they always get successful a lot faster than my first one did. So in my first website, I was waiting like a whole year before I earned any income, any proper income. But then my second website, it was earning after 3 or 4 months. So yeah, it was good.
Oh, nice. Do you want to just run us through your keyword research process and maybe how you outline your articles?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I started doing this, like I didn't really have a proper process. It was more just me searching for things on Google, looking at the people also ask, looking at the related questions, and just kind of like drawing my own conclusions from what I would see on the SERPs. But I've kind of refined that process a little bit like over the years, and I do use a paid keyword tool now called Key Search. It's like kind of my like secret go-to tool, because it's not SEMrush, it's not Ahrefs, it's not Moz, or it's not any of those really big like well-known keyword tools, but it's got all of the same features and it gives you the same data. It's just like half the price. So yeah, I've been using that. I've been using that to kind of like just confirm and validate any keyword ideas that I have got through my own kind of random searching for things, and I put them all through Key Search to make sure that they're viable and that there's a likelihood that I'm actually going to rank for them, and what the competitors' quality of content is like, etc. So that's kind of my process. It was a little bit like hit and miss, but when I started doing this, I thought I knew a lot, but I was quite new at it, really. Yeah.
Fair enough. Do you have a publishing, tactic where you go after the lower competition stuff first, or do you just, I don't care, I'm going to write on everything anyway, so I'll just write whatever topics in any order?
So what I found worked for like new websites was ranking for questions, like the kind of longer form questions that start with like how does, why does, how do I, that like the really specific questions, and like I would write an answer that was sort of 500 to 700 words long, and I would write about like 15 or 20 of them, in quite a short space of time. And then I'd notice that basically all of those articles would be ranking like in the top 5 pretty quickly, because they're so specific. And then from there, then, I would create the buying guides, and then I would link from those question and answer posts to the buying guides. And then the buying guides will rank, but they take a little bit longer. Like they take like a couple of months maybe to like fully rank, in the where I'd want them to.
Yeah. I want to jump into your buyer guides actually. Obviously with Google sending out updates, product review updates every 6 months or so. How have you, I'm assuming that the buyer guides are still ranking well and your websites are still doing well. How are you writing those guides, I guess, so you're not getting hit so badly by penalties or not getting hit at all or ranking well?
Well, one of my sites I think was negatively impacted a little bit. But my most successful website, which is in a home fitness, I create all of my content as if I'm writing to a friend. I don't make anything look too polished, too professional. I don't, and I could kind of try to make it as genuine as possible. And this is the same thing that I found that is working now on social media. For the past 5-10 years, people are fed up of fake, overly filtered, obviously fake product reviews on the internet. And I was like, I really found that giving the authentic content, that authenticity, that honesty, and a lot of the products I was reviewing, I was very lucky I actually had them myself, or quite soon after my content was published online, these brands actually reached out to me and sent me samples because my content was doing very well in Google, and these were forward-thinking brands who understood the value of that. So I had the luxury of having the products in front of me and being able to use them, so I was able to give an authentic opinion. And I still approach all of my content in the same way. Like, I'm like, if I was writing this to a friend, does it come across friendly, or does it come across like I'm a professional copywriter? Because I'm not, but I don't want it to come across like too polished. And I found that that's really worked. Like a couple, like the buying guides I've got in mind, they've stayed number 1 and 2 for 2-3 years now. And they're the most authentic content on Google, so everything else reads like it's written by an SEO buying guide writer, whereas mine feels like it wasn't. So
yeah. Okay, that's good advice for anyone listening then, just to not write like it's a PR piece for the product, and more towards like you're just a user.
Yeah, and I make really it clear within the first kind of couple of paragraphs that I own these things, that I'm not just, this isn't just a random like product comparison. And I mean, I do all of the tactics that I think that a lot of people in this space kind of discuss, where, you have the in a hurry kind of call to action quite near the top of the post. You have a comparison table that has the pros, cons, and links to each product. I have all of that in place, but the way I actually write things is very much like friendly, unpolished. I don't worry too much about like sticking the keywords in. I'd rather it feel like authentic. Of course, like I use the keywords in the heading and the the intro, and they're in there. I just don't overuse them, and I just try to keep it as genuine and natural as possible, I guess. Yeah.
Nice. That's actually a good segue, because you mentioned about, I guess, things not being polished and people are sick of it, not just, I guess, within product reviews, but within social media. Now, recently you grew your TikTok from, what was it, 100 or so people to 30,000 people within 30 days.
Yeah.
Was this for your main business?
Yeah, it was kind of my own personal brand, because alongside the niche websites, I do web development. I work for clients and I advise clients on things like blogging and SEO for their businesses. So I kind of created a TikTok about that, to just share kind of educational content, things that I've learned over the years about SEO, about managing websites, and just like general kind of marketing and tech advice. And I was posting last year, like a lot of people, I discovered TikTok during the lockdowns, and I was lurking on there for months. I was watching stuff, but I never dared post anything. And like I started to notice there was a shift in TikTok, that I was seeing less of the lip syncs and the dances, and more of like tutorials and education and value-based content and evergreen content. And I was thinking, well, I've really got to get on this now. So when I started posting, like seriously, like taking it seriously, like posting twice a day, consistently, replying to all the comments and being active on there, I suddenly like woke up one day and I had 5,000 followers. And I've been on Instagram for about 7 years and I've got about 600 followers. So I'm not exactly like a social media butterfly. I never really have been. So like, I was surprised that like I was able to get that much of reach in such a short space of time. And then a couple of my videos actually exceeded 800,000 views in like a week.
Okay.
And I was thinking, like, I've had a website online for 2 years, which hasn't even reached that level yet of 800,000 views in total. And TikTok has just done this for me within a week. And I'm like, if anybody who is doing marketing is not paying attention to TikTok, I'm thinking, about have a word with yourself, because you like, this is an opportunity. And all the other platforms you're on, like Instagram and Facebook, they only really show content to your followers unless you pay them. But TikTok will show your content to everybody. It doesn't matter how many followers you've got. Every single post has its own like authority and its own merit, and the algorithm treats each post as an individual post. It doesn't care about your history or anything. It's like, I just think it's fantastic platform for reach at the moment. So yeah, I've had some great growth on TikTok. I mean, it's not constantly on the up. It plateaus out, it's up and down, just like anything else in marketing. But I did see some explosive growth over the 30-day period where I was posting consistently. Yeah.
All right, let's break that down. So if anyone's listening, they could potentially try replicate this. So you mentioned, was it you're posting twice a day, every day? At
least twice a day. Some days I was posting like 3 or 4 times, because you can do replies to comments as a video. So if somebody wrote a comment that I felt like, I should reply to this kind of in the moment, then that would mean that I'd be posting like 4 or 5 times a day some days. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Does the type of content that you're posting affect that? So is there certain kind of video? Do you have to jump on a certain trend? Does it matter if you're doing trending stuff, or can you just post essentially anything? Well,
there's kind of 2 types of content on TikTok. There's the trending content, and then there's the evergreen content. Obviously the evergreen content has a much longer return on investment, really, because some of the trends on TikTok, they are over in 24, 48 hours. They move quite quickly. Some trends do last longer, last a few weeks or whatever, but I found that the real traffic has come from the evergreen posts, like evergreen videos that I've shared. And I mean, anybody who's watching like this now has probably got blogs of some kind, written content published online that can be repurposed into TikToks. Like, it's really easy to do. You know, if you've got a list article of like, you know, here's 10 things you can do to improve your whatever, you could make 10 TikTok videos out of that, you know, or 10 Instagram reels or 10 YouTube shorts or whatever. But yeah, there's loads of potential for your existing content. If you've already written it, just turn it into something else. Like,
are there, I guess you could say, are there like general rules when you're making these videos? Obviously, you don't want to make the video so text heavy that they're sitting there having to read for, I think it's a minute is the limit on TikTok now or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Is there some kind of general rule when making videos to keep them engaging? I mean, it's a very general question, but...
yeah, I know. Actually, there is. You said there was 1 minute is the rule, but they've actually changed it. They changed it last year to 3 minutes, and they've just changed it again to 10 minutes. So you can upload 10-minute videos to TikTok, or up to 10 minutes. So you know you could have anything in between that. In terms of keeping people engaged, it is important to switch it up in your videos. So. The clips of the video need to be short and then edited together so that your background is changing, or you've got some sort of visual transition or visual disruption, because nobody wants to sit for 10 minutes and watch a talking head on TikTok. They're going to scroll. So you need to like, I say, like, again, it's this authenticity thing. If you kind of talk to your phone as if like the viewer is on a journey with you. So, you know, if you're going about your day, you're making a cup of tea, you're brushing your hair, you're walking out to the shop, you make the TikToks integrate it within your day. So the background's always changing. Every 10 seconds you've got a new thing behind you. It feels like a lot more fluid. So I think that for those longer videos, you have to keep the visual engagement by changing the background, adding transitions. You can do simple transitions where you turn your head like that, and then the next video you start from that side, so it looks like it's like a fluid movement. And like little things like that make a big difference to keep people engaged. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting then. How important then is the niche on TikTok? Are there niches that just don't work? Because I'm assuming with your TikTok you do that in the web design SEO-ish space.
Yeah.
Are there niches that you've maybe seen or tried that just are complete flops?
I haven't tried any niches myself that have flopped, but I've discovered a lot of very interesting niches on TikTok that I've never thought about before. Like somebody's on there who's very successful, who's a funeral director, like an undertaker, like the person who like deals with the deceased and puts the makeup and stuff on them. And I was like, it was very interesting. You learn a lot. And I thought, well, I'd never search for that on Google for sure. Like never, nobody would. But the video is interesting, and there's so many different topics and things that you can discover on there. I don't know if I'd think of any that would be like a complete failure. I think you just have to try it and see, because I mean, people are weird. Like people are interested in all sorts of stuff, and because of the way TikTok works, it's just a constant stream of new information. You never know what's going to come up next when you scroll, so like you kind of never know whose interest you could be capturing. And like the more consistently you post, like TikTok's going to soon figure out what you're about, and it's going to show your content to the right people. So yeah.
That's good. I've got some more questions on this. Inadvertently, I don't have TikTok and I've never used TikTok, but my wife loves TikTok, so I've got a bunch of questions from her that she's researched. So I'm pulling these off now. But regarding hashtags, obviously hashtags with Twitter and Instagram were the thing to essentially be found and seen. Is it the same on TikTok where you have to use certain hashtags, or is it just you just post and that's not so much of an issue?
Well, you can use hashtags because you get a caption that you can post on every video. And that caption, I think, is about 150 characters, although they may have just increased that. Like, I think they just doubled it. So within that caption, you can put hashtags. A lot of the hashtags, they come up when you type them on TikTok. They come up at the side with how many times that hashtag has been used. And some of those hashtags have been used like 10 billion times. So what I've been told by like lots of social media experts is to look for hashtags which are under 1 million but over 100,000. So like there's that kind of sweet spot. And again, usually those hashtags are a lot more specific and a lot more niched down, like not just hashtag SEO tips. It would be like hashtag SEO tips for small businesses. You're more likely to get the right traffic with that niche hashtag than you are with the generic one. And there was this rumor on TikTok that if you put hashtag trending or hashtag FYP, which stands for For You page,
I've heard of that one, yeah.
That would help you get on the For You page more. But when you look at how many people have used that hashtag, it's been used like 16 billion times. So you think, well, that they're not going to show 16 billion people's content to 16 billion other people, are they? So the more specific hashtags, the more specific you can be, I think, you're more likely to reach the right people that way.
Yeah, that's some good advice there too. I also want to touch on, I guess, a little bit of Instagram. You mentioned you only had 600 followers on Instagram. Instagram, yeah, I guess the algorithm there is stuffed really for anyone trying to make it there. But there was an idea where Instagram, actually, I think they mentioned it in one of their releases, where you couldn't post TikTok videos to Instagram Reels with the TikTok watermark.
Yeah.
Because then that would limit your reach. Is the same true the opposite? Can you post from Instagram Reels to TikTok with the Instagram watermark? Does that limit your TikTok reach?
I believe it does, yes.
Yeah.
Although there are ways to get rid of that watermark if you're knowledgeable to it. I think it's
if you're savvy.
Yeah, I think it's snaptic.app is a website, and you paste in the URL of your TikTok and it will download it without the watermark, and then you're free to upload it to other platforms. However, technical now, I have also experienced that there's more to it than just the watermark. There's the text that you've put on the image from the app, you know, like the Instagram editor, the TikTok, it has the text. There's the music, the sound, that's a big one. And there's also metadata within the video that's saved on your phone so that when you upload it to Instagram, it knows where it's come from. So I think that really what these apps want you to do is to make the content natively within their editors. But there's a way around that as well. You can create the content in your camera and then you can upload it and you can add your text individually to all the apps. So it takes a bit longer, but there are ways around it.
But that's what you'd recommend? You'd recommend making the videos for each platform individually?
Probably, yeah. And also I would recommend like creating different content for, if you want people to follow you on every platform, like why would they follow you on TikTok and Instagram if your TikTok and Instagram are exactly the same? I think like you should offer something unique, right? And I think of Instagram is nurture, TikTok is outreach, but Instagram is nurture because, as you said, the algorithm, it stuffs new creators. So if you want to share content on Instagram, I think the only people who are going to see that content are your followers, except for Reels that will get shown to more people.
Okay, that's a good point. And I want to know as well, how does TikTok convert? Does it make you money? Because obviously you've gone from in 30 days to 30k new followers, and it's like, okay, that should be 30k new people with eyes on the business, potential leads. Do they convert? Is there something where certain platforms are better for conversions than others?
There are ways to make money on TikTok. Like there's the Creators Fund, which is like the YouTube advertising fund where they pay you like 10p for every like 10,000 views you get, but I've never been part of that. But no, the real way like is to drive traffic to your website. You can drive traffic to your website using TikTok because you get one link in your bio just like you do in Instagram. And what I tend to do is I don't send people to my homepage in that link. I send people to a specific landing page that I created for TikTok and Instagram with, you know, like a nice list of buttons and stuff, and that page is no indexed. It's got no value. It's just a social media landing page. But in your content, you can direct people to that. Like you give people a call to action. You can say like, go to my profile and click the link in my bio to see more. But I think I wouldn't be so obvious as to say like, click the link in my bio. I would kind of be like, go to my profile to get your free checklist or something. And then you're directing people to the website. And I mean, even if 10,000 people see that video and if 50 of them click on the link, like that's still a success, right? Because you're still reaching the people, you know, they're in the funnel, right? They're in the awareness funnel. Then they get down into the consideration stage and they're like on your website, downloading your checklist, giving you their email address and stuff. So you can definitely convert and sell digital products. You could sell physical products if you've got an e-commerce store, you know, you just showcase them. There's so many different ways, I think, to drive traffic to your website. And sorry, I know I'm kind of going on a little bit, but when during that month where I had the massive growth on TikTok, that was in February and early March, that page on my website, the landing page, was the most visit web page on my entire website by all the others, and TikTok was the biggest referrer to my website for that couple of weeks. Okay. Like, even though I get quite a lot of organic traffic from Google to my own website, sarahtamsin.com, TikTok overtook it during that week when I was going viral. So, yeah.
Wow, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So I want to break down your landing page a bit. So I'm assuming you've made this purely for mobile, this landing page, since everyone's on. Yeah. And what goes on your landing page? Is it like a link tree? Or
Very
is it
much.
something different? Okay, it's like a link tree.
Yeah.
And so within that, you have different call to actions.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want a link tree because like most people, I've got my own domain name. So I thought, well, anybody who has their own domain name can set up their own link tree. Why not? Because link tree, I think you've got to pay for, and it puts their branding on it and it's limited. Yeah. And even if you're not using a content management system, I mean, a simple HTML one single page web page is enough for you to put a few buttons, and those buttons can be affiliate links. I've got a couple of affiliate links in mine. Like that's another way of earning money on TikTok, is you can demonstrate like I see loads of people doing it. Like, here's a weird and wonderful thing I got off Amazon this week, and then they show it, and then they go, I'll go to my bio to get yours, and of course you look and it's an Amazon affiliate link. So there's hundreds of people doing that on TikTok. So I mean, Amazon affiliates is not just for niche websites, it's for all social media influencers as well. So yeah.
Were you I guess you mentioned you had some affiliate links. Other than that, was it just I guess opt-ins just for your lead magnets, or were you also trying to sell, I guess, services directly from there?
I've got a link on there where people can like book me for a one-to-one like direct session, which has a cost to it. So I think at the moment I got about 6 buttons on there. I've got like a couple, 2 or 3 affiliate links, one which says like read my latest blog post, one which says hire me, and then I think it's just got like all of my social medias in like a little banner across the bottom, like my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, like everything in one place. And of course
just
I've got
to spread them around.
Yeah, and I've got a click event on each thing, so I can track in Google Analytics like who's clicking on what and stuff. So yeah.
No, that's interesting, because I always thought social media doesn't convert as well. But it seems like TikTok for you at least did the exact opposite.
See, when you said that social media doesn't convert, I think that I used to think the same thing. Like when I was really tunnel visioned into my niche sites and affiliate marketing, I was like, oh, social media is a treadmill. It doesn't work. It's too much work. And I was like, actually, people buy from people. People like to see a face and hear a voice. And I think that the hiding behind written content, really, I think that showing your face is more powerful. And like, look at the reach that you could have on TikTok. You could show one product on TikTok and have 1 million views in the space of a couple of days. Like, what website's going to do that? Like, very few websites would be capable of doing that. And I think, though, I love my niche websites and I want to keep running them like for my entire life. I want to always have them because of the long-term growth, the long-term benefits of having these types of sites. But TikTok is great. Instagram as well. I've not been using it very well myself, but Instagram's the same, really. There's more nurture involved, but you can absolutely build a community and convert audience into buyers on social media.
Yeah, you make me want to start TikTok now.
Good. They should pay me.
I think the reason it's like, I think like this, and I guess a lot of people think like this, is people on Google are searching and then choosing to find your stuff. Whereas on TikTok or whatever, they're just coming across your stuff. So they're not searching for it. So people say, it's not that intent to buy. But it seems like what you're saying is when something's just put in their face and they go, oh, that looks really cool, they end up maybe potentially pulling their wallet out anyway.
Well, TikTok's got a very strange way of like getting into people's heads, and it seems to know what you want to see. Like, I mean, there's a reason why people end up spending hours on that app. It's because they've got an algorithm that shows you stuff that you want. So when you say that like the intent is not there, the intention may be like, oh, I just want to have a mindless scroll, but it's really easy to engage people when they're in that kind of like I'm not really thinking kind of state. Like, if you can really grab people's attention and grab their interest. And most of the content I was coming across on TikTok was educational. It was showing people stuff. And a lot of the times it wasn't just a simple thing. They were showing people like a complex process, like a technical process, for example, like, oh, you got to go to this website and then click here and then sign up and then do this. And these were like 2 or 3 minute long videos. Like, these weren't just like quick things. Wow. So obviously people were staying till the end, and that's one of the biggest metrics on TikTok is how much of the video you watch, and that's a big clue to TikTok as to whether you like the video or not. It's how much of it you watch. So the more time you spend on there watching videos, the more refined your kind of for you page is going to be. Like, I've heard of people who are saying like people my age in their 30s who are saying like, I didn't know I was bisexual until I went on TikTok. TikTok figured it out. I came out because of TikTok. And so, like, and I think that's completely crazy. Like, and I've seen some other like crazy stories of people who have like changed their career or like moved house or gone traveling like because of something that they saw on TikTok. Wow. So it's like, it's so powerful for influencing people. And I just think it's not to be missed. I mean, even if you're not a face to camera kind of person, I'm sure there's, I don't know really if non-face to camera videos would work on TikTok, but for hire an actor, hire a voiceover, do something to get face to camera, because it can drive like massive amounts of traffic and interest towards your brand.
How long are your videos that you're creating then? And are you doing your call to actions at the end, or are you doing them earlier on just so you capture most of the audience?
I'm doing the calls to action usually at the end of the video, but not every video has a call to action. Or sometimes it's just text on the screen that will say like, hit the plus button to like get more, which is like the follow button. And my video length, it really depends. I've got some which are 7 seconds. I've got a couple which are 2 or 3 minutes, but most of them are around 30 or 40 seconds. That's what I found that works for me. I really actually want to do longer videos on there, but I'm scared that people won't watch them till the end. But it seems to be working for other people, so I'm hoping to try it soon.
Have you thought about YouTube for the longer ones? Because I guess it's similar metrics, like watch time is obviously a huge factor for ranking as well.
Yeah, I'd love to create content for YouTube. I just don't have the motivation at the moment. And the length of time it seems to take to grow on YouTube. I can't imagine getting 30,000 subscribers in a few weeks on YouTube like I did on TikTok. I can't imagine that happening.
Yeah, for sure. I have another question regarding posting. So obviously on TikTok you have I guess a geographical audience, maybe that the majority of your viewers are from a certain place. Usually it's from where you're posting from. So for example, my wife here in New Zealand has a majority of New Zealand viewers. Do you then try post when your majority audience is awake, or does it matter? Can you post any time and it kind of balances out?
I found that you can post any time of day. And yeah, it is kind of geographical, because my majority audience was the UK where I live, but the United States is only like 1% behind me. And I think it said like 22% of my audience are from the UK, and then like 21% are from the US. And then the next was like 11% were from Canada or something. I just post at any time of day. I've heard that like if you want to be seen by your followers, then if you post about half an hour before they're most active, like, you know, in the analytics in TikTok, it says your followers are most active at like 7 p.m. or whatever. So like post half an hour before that. But I would say like post when your followers are not active, because TikTok doesn't just show your stuff to your followers, it shows it to your non-followers. And those are the people you want to reach. So
you have to be consistent then.
Yeah, and it's the hook really. It's the first 2 to 3 seconds. That's when people are going to scroll or not. So you've got to start with like a really like crazy hook, something like, "You will not believe what I've just found out," or "There's not enough people who are talking about this," or like, or talk about something really like give an opinion that's slightly controversial, or like, I mean, loads of our websites are WordPress or whatever. So like start the thing with being like, "Your WordPress website has got a problem. Like, has yours got this problem?" And then you show them, because people will be like, "Oh my God, has my website got a problem? I got to know what that is." So it's like you've got to start with a hook. Or you could say like, "WordPress is rubbish." Use something to, I'm not saying it is, I love WordPress, but you could say or you could say that your Yoast SEO plugin is rubbish, use something else. And like say something controversial that you know loads of people disagree with, so that they write in the comments, "How dare you say that, this is wrong, you're wrong." Because engagement, you know, people commenting is like a great form of engagement. So like,
are you making sure you reply to every single comment as well?
I reply to the early comments like in the first sort of like few hours after I post, but comments on really old videos I don't go back and reply to, because it would take my entire life.
Fair enough.
It's crazy like this when you see some videos with thousands and thousands of comments, like you literally could not reply to each one. You would take hours and hours, and then there would be more. It just never ending.
Fair enough. So if any of or anyone listening who has maybe some kind of niche website, what would your advice be for them to get started with TikTok?
Do you mean to post about the niche related to their niche
essentially,
website.
yeah, exactly. Just to help their website. Is there an easy way for them to get started from their blog to be able to start growing essentially another traffic source?
Yeah, well, look at the blog posts and the articles and the pages that get traffic and engagement already, and pull out anything that's really valuable or really educational or could potentially be really entertaining. Pull out anything like that and create TikToks about it. Basically, like the evergreen content, the valuable, the educational content is doing really, really well at the moment. And that's what most of our niche blogs are, really, is educational content. Like it's not there to entertain, it's there to help you make a decision or to provide you with information you need before you make a purchase. So you could do the exact same thing on TikTok. Or if you've got any product which is like pretty cool or visually engaging or interesting or has a really cool effect or really cool outcome, then show it being used. And then, of course, like subtly direct people to your link in your bio where you can click on your affiliate link and buy it. So,
and then when making the videos, I want to essentially change the background every few seconds.
Or switch it up or cut the clip, so make really short clips, like clips which are like 4 or 5 seconds long, and then like you'd stop. So like I could say a sentence and then cut the video and then start the video again to say the next sentence. So it's like constantly moving. That helps people stay visually engaged. I mean, feel free to like have a look at my videos and other popular videos on TikTok to see what people do. I'm still getting used to it. I'm not a pro at creating videos. I just trying to enjoy it mostly.
Yeah, fair enough. Have you had any other success on other social media platforms? I guess sending traffic or converting traffic to your website, or was it just TikTok that's really pushed the needle?
Well, there's Pinterest as well, but I don't consider Pinterest a social media. I consider Pinterest a search engine because that's what it is. So, but I know that Pinterest is classified as social in Google Analytics, and a lot of people would consider it social media, even though it's not very social. But yeah, I mean, in the big picture, long term, Pinterest is the second biggest referrer of traffic after Google. Because Pinterest is just like Google. You've got titles and descriptions. You've got to put the keywords in there, and people search for keywords in Pinterest, and they get images back. So you give them a visually appealing image, and it clicks through to your website. And you can even put affiliate links on Pinterest. And so, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I want to go into the Pinterest side because obviously, I don't know how long ago it was, they've been changing their algorithm to where people are making it, I guess new people come in and finding it harder to find reach. They're either, I guess, pushing maybe their paid advertising side. So how are you breaking, I guess, through that to have your pins seen?
I have noticed there is like a bit of a decline in reach in Pinterest. What I found is that the old strategy of repurposing your pins, you pinning the same image every few months, they don't seem to like that anymore. They seem to like fresh, original pins, and they seem to like videos, just like all the other platforms seem to like videos. So I found that the videos generally get more reach than the pictures. But the more consistent you are, like pins are evergreen, just like blog posts are. So a pin can last for about 6 months. 7, it can even last longer, I think, but so if you've got a blog post, you could create 10 or even 20 different Pinterest designs in Photoshop or Canva or whatever you use. Create like 10 or 20 different ones and then schedule them like every couple of weeks and see which one does the best, and then you can make more like that.
That's a good point. Is there another general rule of thumb that you'd use for creating a Pinterest pin? Are there certain dimensions that you want to use maybe to take up more of the page? Is there a certain amount of text that's too much, too little that you've found?
Yeah, well, obviously pins need to be the like vertical long images. They take up more space, and if most people are using it on their mobile, then they will show up bigger. And Pinterest recommends, they've got a creative guideline document, and they recommend in there that it should be like a 2:3 ratio, so like twice as long as it is wide. And there's Canva templates have the pre-made dimensions in there. And with the text, I think as long as the text has got a lot of contrast and you can read the entire text when it's zoomed out, because Pinterest might show your pin next to like 3 or 4 others. As long as it's all readable, then there's not like a magic number of words, but you could probably not fit that many words on there and make it readable. So...
and put a video maybe as well.
Well, on a video you can do like those like Instagram story style, like where the text appears and then disappears and that kind of thing. And they've also got now on Pinterest the idea pins, which are just like Instagram Reels and TikToks, but like
so everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah, like we talked about, you've got to take the watermark off it, and on TikTok, a lot of the videos have copyrighted music on it, so you can't use those. You just got to be aware really of that kind of thing. But you're right, everyone is going video crazy. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is all about videos now.
Well, even YouTube has what are they doing? I don't know what they've called it, but they're basically doing the same thing. They've got YouTube, I think, stories now.
YouTube Shorts, I think.
Yeah, but I think they've released a new thing.
Another one.
Shorts. Yeah, wow. which is I think it's stories. So I think it's everyone's just doing the same thing, trying to capture the audience from all the other platforms.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a popular form of content, the short form video.
Are those Pinterest ideas, because they're new, are they being pushed? I don't know if you've had any experience with it, but has it been pushed further with the algorithm than just posting pins?
Well, there's actually a separate feed for the idea pins in a continuous reel of videos, just like, all the other places have. They seem to get pushed out to a lot of people, but the difference with the idea pins and the regular video pins is you can't put a link in the idea pin. It's simply just content. You can't tell people to go anywhere else, whereas a regular pin, an image pin or a video, that's linked back to your website, so people can visit your website from it, but they can't from an idea pin. But apparently Pinterest favors people who create idea pins. Like, for example, they've actually got a creators fund as well, and I recently had an email about it, and they said who's eligible for the Pinterest creator fund, and it said like you had to have 1,000 followers and stuff, but then they also said you have to post 10 idea pins every month for the last 6 months in order to be eligible for the creators fund. So it's like they obviously want people to use it and want people to be active, so I think they're rewarding people who are active with idea pins. So
are these creator funds worth trying to go for? It seems like, you mentioned 10 cents per 10,000 visitors.
I've never been in one.
Millions. Yeah.
I've never been in one. Never. I think from what I've heard from other people, that the payments are pretty low, and people have had hundreds of thousands of views, and like they get paid like less than £5 or $5. It's not, but then I suppose the opportunities are elsewhere. With TikTok, like I've had brands reach out to me who wanted to work like directly with me, big brands as well, like really big, like global brands. I've been on another podcast with Microsoft, and that was because of TikTok. Wow. They found me on TikTok, so it's like things like that. Like I think the opportunity is too great to pass up. If you're trying to grow a business, then like TikTok's the place to be.
What's the going rate for, say, a brand reaches out to you and they want to feature their product in one of your TikToks? What's the going rate, I guess, for doing that? I'm assuming it depends on how big your profile is and how much reach you get and things like that. Maybe individual negotiation, but I don't know if is there like a cost per number of followers you have?
There's like a calculator, or there's a few different calculators that you can find online that will like work out how much you should charge for and like what they're asking for. For example, like video posts apparently are worth more than image posts because it's like more popular at the moment. I don't know really, because I haven't like directly done like a sponsored video on TikTok. Like I've worked with brands like outside of the platform on other things which were a bit easier to work out the price for, but I haven't actually been asked like to do a post on TikTok.
Gotcha.
I've been asked loads for my niche websites, and I have done a few sponsored blog posts on my niche websites from brands that have reached out to me that way. And that's a bit easier because they do the domain authority times 10 or whatever, and that's the price per year. But even then, the links are no followed. You know, any links to them are no followed because we exchanged money. So it's like, they've got to be marked up correctly, or Google will not be happy.
Got to appease the Google gods for that one. Okay, I haven't actually heard of that. Domain authority times 10.
Yeah, or something like that. I can't remember. And I mean, domain authority is not like a real metric that I would take seriously. I think that is... Domain authority is for that thing. It's for the kind of sponsored blogs, influencer. That's where domain authority is actually important, because they will look at that. Like, brands will look at your domain authority. But apart from that, it's just like a vanity thing to me. Like, oh, your domain authority went up by 3 points. Like, well done. I've never thought it important because I've never seen a direct correlation between domain authority and traffic. So, yeah.
Are these sponsored posts like separate review posts of that product, or are these maybe placed number one within a buyer's guide?
The first one, I don't compromise on the buyer's guides. Like, I've been asked, like, somebody before who was their product was listed like the second best product, and they asked me to change it to number one, and I just said, like, unfortunately I can't do that because, like, it's not honest. But for product reviews, I've been sponsored to do product reviews, and the price, I've done it differently if the product has an affiliate program. If they have an affiliate program, then I price lower because I think I can get long-term income through the affiliate links. But if they haven't got one, then I price more. And I've had a few brands who'll go like, oh, we'll just send you the product for free. I'm like, no, but that's not the same as money. Like, I'm sorry, it takes time. Like, first of all, I have to use your product, and then I have to write about it. I have to take pictures of it, I have to edit those pictures, put text on those pictures, publish the blog post. Like, that stuff takes time. Like, a product isn't going to pay the bills of the hosting or anything like that. Like, so I try to like charge what's fair really. Like, I kind of depends like what it is, and I'm
going to take that approach. I was approached by a company who sent me something for free, but their rules were, on the review post, I couldn't use my affiliate link, which was... But
then what are they paying you for that? Then they have to pay you for that.
They just so they sent me a thing, but luckily the thing was pretty shit, so I ended up bagging it in the post. But
that's the thing. I mean, there's PR, right? You can be on brands' PR lists where they will send you free products, but there's no expectation when they send you a free product. There's no expectation that you will post about it. Like, they hope you will. They hope you'll use it, love it, and be like, oh, this is so amazing. But that's what they're doing when they're sending it out. They're just like hoping that somebody they send it to will pick it up and share it with their followers. Otherwise, it's just like them hoping. There's no, they can't say to you, oh, here's a free product. By the way, when you mention this on your blog or on your social media, make sure you say this and don't link to this. It's like, they can't tell you that unless you've got a proper agreement in place. Otherwise, it's like they say into a free product, you're free to say whatever you want about it, wherever you want and however you want. So,
yeah, for sure. Do you recommend people to reach out to these companies, or is it more of you just build your blog and whatever else and they come to you?
Bit of both, I think. I would I was really lucky when I started my first niche website, and like I searched like the niche name plus affiliate program, and there were loads of different things that came up, but there were a few that didn't, and there were a few like products that I really wanted to talk about and really wanted to link to because I'd used them and I knew about them, I could write a lot about them, but I had no way of like monetizing it. So I reached out to them and I said like, look, do you have an affiliate program? Would you be interested in setting one up? And one of them came back to me and they said, yeah, we are setting one up. So I was able to like join it that way. And one of them said, actually, we do have an affiliate program, we just don't talk about it on our website, we only like do it privately. So you never know. I think it's worth reaching out to them if you've got an audience, and if you can send them like a PDF report of your social media following or your Google Analytics, and you can demonstrate the value, but you have to show them the business value in it, because they may not understand. Honestly, some companies do not understand like digital marketing at all, so you have to highlight like what's in it for them, and you have to make it all about them and be like, it will make your business more amazing, blah blah blah, and you have to be really like make it all about them and not about I want to make money off you kind of thing. And I think that would work. I think you should go for it.
Have you dealt with businesses that don't have affiliate programs, but say so for example, my wife and I guess we have discount codes with a couple of companies, but they're not really big in the marketing side. So that we get commission, but they don't have affiliate programs, they don't have affiliate dashboards, nothing. So you've got to email them to figure out how many you've sold. Do you have recommendations, I guess, that you give companies regarding affiliate software and things they can use and ways they can build that program?
There's quite a few different things that they can do. It really depends on what their website is. I mean, like if it's Shopify, they need an app on Shopify. If it's WordPress, they need a plugin in WordPress. If it's something that's not Shopify or WordPress, but it's self-hosted, then there's like a few off-the-shelf solutions in PHP that can do affiliate software. That is affiliate tracking software, last click attribution and all of that. Have a quick search on Google. As you know, Google's your best friend. But because every website is different, I'm not just going to recommend like one solution, because there's so many different variables. But if you've got things like digital products, if you sell digital products, then almost every digital product sales platform has an affiliate program built in. So you just use the built-in one.
Perfect. No, thanks for your time today, Sarah. I really appreciate it. Hopefully the listeners got some inspiration to get on TikTok. Is there any... Do you want to maybe share your TikTok where users can kind of see, and maybe share anything else you, I guess your website or anything?
So my website is sarahtamsin.com. My TikTok is Tamsin in it, like Tamsin, INNIT in it.
That's very British.
It is, yeah. It's one of those, like, I've had that username since like 2008, and it's like I didn't have a professional brand back then, and I haven't quite had the heart to change it. I really wanted to change it, and then I did a poll with my followers, and it was like 99% unanimous, keep it. So I was like, they all went, I was like, well, I can't not do what my audience wants, because that wouldn't be fair. So but yeah, thank you so much for having me on here. Like, it's great. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and chat about this stuff.
Perfect. And maybe we'll link up your TikTok and stuff in the description so people can view. But thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it, Sarah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Until the next episode, goodbye.